the offering is here to stay. It is the future of real estate. It really is. I think in all, the market is extremely positive. I think there's a tendency from the media and the industry to talk about Regus and WeWork. In the UK, the top 10 operators account for about 13% of the marketplace. So to put that into perspective, there's a fragmented long tail, and generally the market is doing extremely well because the demand from the customer is there. But technology is really important and bandwidth is really important, and the challenge that someone running a flexible space has is once they have the bandwidth coming into the building is how do you divide that up amongst more tenants or multiple tenants and multiple customers in a secure, reliable way. And what Yardi's Medusa technology does is allow the operators to be able to do that in such a way that everyone gets the right level of bandwidth that they want, and it also monetizes that for the operator. So that can be recharged, so it's a kind of pay-as-you-go service and is managed for the operator, making it one less headache to worry about. The average requirement for flexible space, according to people like Instant Offices, is increasing. So the demand for the size of flexible space is getting bigger, which is driven by corporates. And talented people, employees, want to be in places a bit like where we are, which is cool, it's hip, a great place to work. The most important thing, though, is the attention to detail that surrounds the customer. And that will be the way you design, fit out the customer. And that will be different depending on which flexible space you go to. They're not all the same as this because the customer is not always the same. One of the subjects that's often talked about in events that I go to in the sector is about valuations. How do you value this type of business? Because they don't have the fallback of a long-term lease to create the value for the banks. The reality is the customer lifetime, even though they are on a flexible license, is getting longer and longer and longer. And if you speak to people like Giles Fuchs, who are desperate to get RICS to get the valuations, methodology for valuations, it does include the average lifetime of the customer. It's no different from our industry, software. So software as a service, often the contracts are relatively short, but the revenues are valued on how long a customer stays with you. You don't necessarily need a long-term lease to say that they're going to be here for a long time. The reason people leave real estate is either their needs have completely changed and they've outgrown your business.